Hey everybody, it's Mr. Giles for part 2, making a background. Now we're going to make it a little fancier, a little cooler, and it takes a couple easy steps. We're going to use something called gradients. You're going to notice a tool right by your fill tool, and it's the gradient tool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this layer off here. I'm going to make sure I'm on my background layer if I have multiple layers. And I'm going to use the selection tool, or I'm going to use the magic wand, which is one of the selection tools. And these are all selection tools. I'm going to click on the blue. Okay, and you'll see that there's a selection, I call it the marching ants, all the way around the blue area. So what I want to do now is, instead of just having just this blue, I want it to be a gradient, changing colors, like a real sky, like maybe at a sunset or a sundown or whatever. So I'm going to use the color picker tool. I'm just going to pick that color so that I have the exact same color. And right now, I have blue and white. So what the gradient is going to do when I select it, you're going to see some options appear, is that when I drag down, you're going to see it goes from blue to white. And it creates this really cool, it's a gradient. It's changing from one color to another color. It's kind of like how how color works in the real world. You can change the kind of color you use. That's kind of weird for a skyline, so I'm going to stick with the first option, but you can play with those options to do other things. So I'm going to pull that down, and I'm just going to keep dragging down until it looks kind of even, but you can see that it's lighter over here, so maybe that's where the sun is. And then now I'm going to do the same thing with the green. Now I'm going to use my magic wand. I'm going to select the green area, and I'm going to use the color picker. I'm going to pick the green. And now I'm gonna go from green to another color green. So I'm gonna click on my secondary color by clicking on the box right here. And then I'm gonna go to a, I don't know, like a, let's see, maybe a darker green like that. There we go. So this is gonna be very subtle. It's not gonna be very crazy. But I'm going to get my gradient tool selected. Now my area is selected. So even if I click up here, you'll see that it only changes the color inside the selection. Now if I start here, I'll have a more solid color. I'm actually going to start up here and then drag it down. See, there's a very subtle change in the color, but it's kind of cool. And I'm going to just show you the difference. So here's the first one. There's the original with no gradients. Here's the one with gradients. Okay, and I'm going to hit the Control D will deselect. It'll get rid of that selection if you're ever trying to do that. So now we have just added some cool details using gradients, and you can use gradients on anything, and maybe we'll go into that more in the next part. There you go.